Let's hear from the other side. Bringing into the conversation now is Honorable Silas Warwar, someone who is much more aligned to the other camp of the PDP. Let's hear the thoughts of the other side of the argument and whether or not the PDP is on a rescue mission to first of all put his house back in order. Mr. Silas, good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by on the program.
Thank you very much, Nigerians, and thank you very much for your support towards our party. Thank you very much for always trying to create avenues where we enlighten people, tell them what is actually happening and where the party is actually headed.
What is the difference between how Nigerians see what is playing out and how you people inside the PDP feel about what is playing out? Because Nigerians see a crisis from the outside, but from the inside, it looks like you people are comfortable with what is happening.
Yes, Nigerians see a crisis from the outside, because just like I was here in the last engagement, I told you Nigerians have so much hope because PDP, during its time in this helm of affairs of the country, had raised the level of leadership in this country to the very highest level. And so that is why Nigerians from outside, anything that affects any news that is negative or that is a little bit strained that comes out that affects the PDP, Nigerians are actually jittery and they want to know more, and they always express their fear, their concerns towards the PDP. It is nothing but just love and affection for the party and graciousness to the party for how Nigeria PDP have led and then improved the lives of Nigerians during its time at the helms of affairs of this country. So that is just it. But for us, we're actually settled and everything is going to be normal. Yes.
Okay. You've heard the argument from the other side. They say the INEC is biased, INEC is in interloper, and INEC is playing the script of the APC administration to destabilize and ensure that the PDP does not function as a political party. Do you agree or disagree with that submission? Is INEC biased against the PDP?
INEC cannot be biased. It is only playing its constitutional role. The rules given to it by the powers that actually set it up. I wouldn't want to look at it as bias. It is just an organization which is playing its role. And then if it was actually being biased, I think by now it would have wielded the big hammer and then done whatever it actually feels it is right for it to do. It will not call both parties and then want to have them both dialogue and then engage and then hear the issues on ground and then give them.
But it is also unconstitutional for INEC to tell PDP who its leaders are. INEC cannot decide who heads PDP.
Have INEC made any statements as regards to that?
When INEC doesn't recognize one side of the divide, it does make the case for the other side.
INEC only said we have orders on our table that what brought your leadership in is not actually okay. And so we are waiting because there are subsisting issues. This matter is subject to this. I wouldn't come here and then want to start giving opinions and then telling the public what the court did not say. INEC only said, sorry, we are actually backed by procedure. And so we'll wait until your issues are done in court. If there was no issue in court, of course, INEC will actually do the needful. Because there are issues in court, it will not jump the fence and then want to do what it is not supposed to do. And that is just it.
You heard what Alhaji Umar Sani said regarding the operations of the courts and how they've been guided by precedent.
Yes.
What do you think he is fundamentally missing from the argument?
Well, I wouldn't want to join issues with him because he's somebody I respect very much. He's one of the stakeholders that I confer with from time to time. But then, for him to actually say INEC or better still whatever is actually happening presently is being guided by precedent, it's actually true. And then once you know that, or he knows that he's guided by precedents, why actually casting aspersions on INEC and then calling it biased, calling it doctored, calling it plain script and so like that? Why not go home and then relax and wait for those precedents to actually play in? I think that would be the right thing. If we're actually saying, okay, these issues have already been decided, and then they are not even supposed to be in court, and then we have matters in court, why not allow the courts to actually get it done instead of jumping the gun and then casting aspersions on institutions and then on the court itself and stuff like that. In the last meeting with the INEC, us youth of the party, who we actually know what is going on, we actually thought, yes, we are one step away from this whole crisis, since both parties who attended the meeting with INEC have agreed that, yes, this matter is sub judice. Let us wait for the courts to actually decide.
A lot of people feel INEC's meeting with the two factions last week, which was unprecedented in so many regards, yes, unusual, yes, by many standards, yes, brings to question or calls to question why INEC is overly invested in the PDP. As a PDP member, are you concerned by INEC's interest in what's happening in the PDP?
Well, just like I said, INEC is only playing according to its own rules.
But it hasn't done that for other political parties, so why PDP?
When the time comes for those other political parties, it will actually...
Yeah, but we've seen it. We've seen it with Labour Party, we've seen it with NNPP, we've seen it with SDP.
What is happening in Labour Party?
INEC didn't call them to a meeting.
What is actually happening in Labour Party and NNPP now that is actually bigger than what is happening in the PDP? What is actually compared to?
INEC didn't do it for the Labour Party,
are you actually
or for any other political party?
Based on political standards,
they're all the same in the eye of the law.
No. Are you actually comparing?
They're all the same in the eye of the law.
In the eye of the law, they're actually all the same. But then,
no, you
cannot
but.
compare.
There is
always a but. I'll have to give you a but on this.
Why should PDP get a special treatment from INEC?
Because PDP is the heart of Nigerian democracy and
according to who?
Political parties. According to Nigerians.
When did that happen? When did Nigerians decide that PDP was the heart of the democracy of this country?
If you actually don't want to accept this assertion of mine,
I'm asking you to clarify when Nigerians decided PDP was...
That is why Nigerians are worried about the expendency and then the structure and then the lifeline of the PDP.
Yeah, but still doesn't answer the question of INEC. INEC is a regulator.
Yes.
As a regulator, what do you do?
I'm only worried about my party. Whatever happens in Labour Party, NNPP, I'm not a member.
But the question is,
not a member, it's PDP.
INEC's neutrality has been called into question by the other side. That INEC is not a neutral party.
It is normal for whatever side to have an opinion. Yes, it is normal.
Yeah, but if there's some truth in that opinion?
I don't see any truth in it.
Ergo, the question, has INEC ever stepped in for other political parties before now?
Well,
to your recollection,
I may not have it on my record, but then...
But to your recollection, has it ever happened before?
To my recollection, no. And it doesn't mean it cannot happen. It depends. It depends on the scenarios around. Just like, if you remember the statement of the INEC chairman, he said it was important to call that meeting because they were having conflicting communiques,
which is quite normal with political parties in this country,
and which with the new administration of INEC is not normal. The INEC chairman is somebody I know very well. He taught me in school. Yes, he taught me in school. He's somebody I know very well. He want to do things differently. What is actually happening? Did he actually make or commit an offense by calling for the meeting? Is it an offense? Are you holding liable, or is it more like criminality for him to have called such meeting?
There is no precedent to that, and that is the question.
There is always a first time. There's always
guided by law, because it is an institution,
just like I said,
that was created by law to operate within the boundaries
by your own understanding. No,
that's how it works.
By your own understanding,
that's how it works.
What is regulation? The word regulatory, what does it entail?
It means that there are sets of rules and an agency is responsible for upholding those rules. One of them does not include...
Which of the rules did he break?
There's a difference between regulation and management. What is playing out is management.
You said INEC is a regulatory body, right?
Right.
And so I said, from your own explanation, can you please just explain the word regulatory?
I think it's self-explanatory. There is a difference between regulation and management.
Sir,
the question is INEC trying to manage PDP?
I watched my leader.
Is INEC trying to manage PDP? That's my question.
My leader told you this thing earlier, and let me repeat it to you again. As a journalist, don't take side.
What side am I taking exactly?
Right. The fact that you are also joining the camp, the other side, on casting.
You mean when the other camp said I'm joining the other side?
You see.
No, I'm not actually even trying to play the devil's advocate here. The question is very clear. The question is very clear. There's a difference between regulation and management.
Yes.
And INEC, according to the accusation, I'm putting this question because
according to the accusation and not according to the rules, right?
I'm pointing out. Okay. I'm pointing out that there are people who are genuinely concerned that INEC, as an institution, this is not about Professor Joash Amopiton as an individual. It's about the integrity of INEC as a regulatory body, has never stepped in to manage an internal crisis of any other political party because it does not have the power to do so. It can only uphold the law when it comes to the rules as stipulated in the Electoral Act. And that is all that INEC has to work with.
If anybody is saying INEC is stepping in to manage the crisis in the PDP, it must have drawn conclusion from a communique, probably released.
What communique?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. There's no communique. And so after their meeting with both parties, if INEC had wanted to step into the management of the crisis or whatever is happening in the PDP, it would have given specific instructions. Go and do this, go and do this, go and do this. But did it? No. It didn't do that.
So the meeting was basically meaningless then?
The meeting was basically, come, both of you go and sort yourself. No, sir. We cannot sort ourselves because the matter is already in court. This matter is sub judice. We cannot talk about it. We cannot even comment about it. He said, okay, since that's the case, we actually called because we've been having conflicting memos from both parties, and then we want this to stop because we also have notices from the court judgments, especially the two from the Federal High Court, from Justice Ifu and Justice Omotosho, that it is still in our own coffers. It's still subsisting. It has not been expended. So let us wait for what the Court of Appeal will do. And that was what happened. And anybody who will go and start saying INEC is this, INEC is that, the person is not sincere.
In hindsight, last week's meeting was pointless, wasn't it?
It was not pointless.
What did it achieve?
It achieved some sort of calm, one.
Calm?
Yes. Secondly, it gave the party a sense of belonging, a real sense of belonging, because, wow, for the first time, a federal agency is calling both parties, which, just like you said, it has never happened, and I don't also have it in my record. And it gives the PDP the national setup and the national outlook that it actually needs, honestly. And so from that meeting, just like I said earlier, we, the youth of the party, thought since both parties, both blocs have accepted that this matter is sub judice, and whatever happens, we will actually move ahead to see or hear what the Court of Appeal will be actually dishing out to us. And then from there, we actually move forward. And so the letter, we don't know what happened. The letter they sent to INEC, asking them to recognize whoever and whatever, it was actually pointless. It was actually pointless. Since you've admitted to the fact that the matter is sub judice, it's still in court, and you are waiting for judgment of the Court of Appeal, why write another letter asking INEC to recognize you want to ambush INEC, or better say, want to confirm your own allegation or assertion against them?
Okay, we're completely out of time, but just to echo, or let's point out the statement that was released last night by National Publicity Secretary of the party, Comrade Ini Ememobong. He said that while INEC claims that it is awaiting the outcome of court judgments and it cannot recognize PDP leadership, the reality, according to the Turakilet National Working Committee, is that judgments have been appealed, there is a stay of the execution that has been filed, and case is at the Court of Appeal. INEC has also monitored certain PDP meetings by the Turaki-led camp. It has received convention notice. It has also observed the Ekiti and Oshun primaries. These were all facts. And according to the Turaki-led National Working Committee, INEC must not interfere in party affairs, which is something the Supreme Court has been quite vehement about. In the final analysis, right, the claims have been made by Oyo State Governor, who gave a media parley just last night or yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
And he made some claims about how the Wike side of the PDP has been contracted to destabilize and make sure that the PDP is not fit for purpose ahead of 2027. You are on that side of the aisle. What is your quick response to claims like that?
I am not privy to such meetings and such contracts. And so, because I am not privy to that, I wouldn't have any comment to say about that. If His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde was in that meeting, it is in his own right to expose whatever details of the meeting he actually has. But as a PDP member, Silas, Tafi, I am not a privy or don't have details as regards to that.
Do you feel you're fighting for the right side, on the right side?
I'm fighting for the survival and the sustenance of the PDP.
But that wasn't the question. Do you feel like you're on the right side of the fight?
110%.
Okay. On that note, Silas, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Well, let me take just a minute to actually wish Nigerians a very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Don't be scared. The party is really coming back, 110%. His Excellency, who is also our leader in the party, the former Senate President, distinguished Senator Saraki, have told us, the youth, through while he was delivering a speech in the youth summit held in Kwara, that we should not be worried. The PDP is coming back strong and capable. And
until it does, this is all we have to deal with for the moment. Honorable Silas, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thank you very much.
That's a wrap on tonight's edition of Daily Politics. We'll be back tomorrow live at 8 p.m. exclusive as always on Trust TV. Until next time, I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you soon.